we can get into Tag Manager, which is a really cool program that Google developed that you can track multiple things, and you don't have to rely so much on the website and your developers on the website to kind of track what's going on. You can set up code, you can set up, that's a lot of the times when we talk about doing the pixels from Facebook, we set it up through Tag Manager because we don't have to bother with the website provider. And many times when we go through and do the conversion tracking with PPC, well, a lot of times I'd rather just do the Tag Manager, because we'll have the website company and say, hey, only put this on the pages that confirm someone submitted a lead.
Right.
With CBK recently, they don't actually have those pages anymore. So you go in, you submit a lead and say, hey, I'm interested in this vehicle, and then it's a pop-up window where it says, okay, thank you. They don't have that thank you page anymore. So it's hard to track.
Yeah.
So we can go in and say, okay, well, if they hit the submit button, then we can say they converted to quote unquote a lead.
Gotcha. Right. So PPC is really great for SEO because, you know, it's all about keywords. So it's like you really like you're bidding on keywords, you're ranking the keywords. So PPC and SEO goes just so hand in hand. And what I always thought was really cool is that you can bid on negative keywords in Google AdWords for PPC. Bid on it.
We don't bid, but what you would do is say, let's say you have a negative keyword list. So let's say we have a lot of clients who say for new cars, we have only like a new car keyword list that we'll go after. So if we're just wanting to go after, you know, Toyota new cars, one of the things that we want to kind of filter out and not bid on would be keywords that are something, maybe focusing around service. So I don't want to spend, let's say if I'm spending $80 a day on new car branded model keywords, I don't want to have that budget go towards service because I have a separate service campaign for that.
Right.
So what I'll do is in that keyword, in AdWords, you can go in and add in negative keyword lists. So I don't want service, I don't want oil change, I don't want, you know, all those different types of keywords. So what we do is we actually have like 10 or 10 or 12 lists of different things that we found, that keywords that pop up that kind of get a little weird. So especially if you have a dealership with like a name, like a city name.
Yes.
So like, you know, for instance,
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis, Indiana. If you have keywords, you know, you don't want a lot of times like college towns. People will search for, and all of a sudden, you know, you're possibly bidding for a keyword for Indianapolis, and it just, so you know, if you have a broad match, it broad matches Indianapolis to that keyword. So you're kind of bidding. So you can do some of those. Like we have a whole list of keywords that we try to get away from.
Because if you're spending like money on PPC, so you want to be so targeted, and so you don't want to spend money on something that's so much more broad. It's like the more targeted you are, like the better. And so that's why I always thought it was so fascinating about negative keywords.
Right, like Kia Forte windshield wipers.
Yeah. So broad, yeah.
But going back to the SEO, one of the most important things, and I've talked about this, I talked about it at Digital Dealer, and I'll be talking about it again at the Innovative Dealer Summit at the end of the month, is the perfect landing page. So one of the things that plays very big into PPC is where are you landing the traffic. So they call it a quality score. And so each ad is actually, and each keyword is ranked 1 to 10 on the quality score. Anything 5 and below, not so good. 5 and above is great. You want to be in that 7, 8, 10 area of your ranking, meaning that you have a good ad, that it talks about the keyword that you're going after, you're bidding after. You know, it's relevant, and then of course, you know, your bid, and then of course the landing page. So all that kind of plays into whether or not you get the spot that you want in Google. So with regards to the landing page, you're taking this traffic, and let's say you have 3 ads going out, and they have, you know, all 3 the same content. But the first one's landing on the homepage, which sometimes is a no-no depending on the keyword. The second one is inventory. So you're landing on an SRP page. Not bad, but let's say someone is mid-funnel, they're not really ready to just dive right into inventory and see what you have, but they're interested in what's, let's say, the Toyota Corolla has involved in it, and why should they buy from you? So landing them on a specific landing page that talks about the Corolla, that, you know, explains what it, you know, the feel of the car is, and, you know, some of the different features, and then of course, you know, your why buy message, followed by inventory at the bottom of the page, is a perfect way to land that traffic. And again, you could be spending anywhere from $2 to $4 to $5 to $10 on these clicks. So you want to try to put them in the best possible converting position as well.
Right. So match up your SEO. That's why we build so many landing pages, because we want you to match the PPC with the SEO and have those landing pages that make, you know, your customers convert. So it all goes hand in hand.
Absolutely.
So I have a question for you. We had a client, we were on a monthly call and we were going over their PPC numbers, and we were seeing that their traffic was dwindling in the afternoon, but then coming back in the evening, but they had already spent the majority of their budget. So when their traffic was coming back at night, they didn't have the money to make their ads, you know, appear for their customers. So is there a way you can turn your PPC on and off?
Yeah, so there's a lot you can do with like scheduling. So one of the things we do for a lot of our clients is we'll do, like Sunday, a lot of our clients are actually not open.
Right.
So, you know, there are some of the keywords and campaigns that will turn off that are like the direct call, direct converting campaigns on those Sundays, because nobody's going to be answering the phone on the Sunday.
Right.
So same thing through the afternoon is that when, let's say we have a lot of spike that happens early morning and then kind of, you know, tapers down a little bit, but then mid-afternoon where everybody's taking their lunch break, they're searching on their mobile devices, you know, that's when we start, you know, amping up the budget again. But between like 3 to 5, you know, people are kind of trying to close out the end of their workday and get home. That little area, again, you then have people who are picking their kids up and getting them to soccer practice or football practice or band practice or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, you're able to kind of turn that budget off while they're not searching, and then pick it back up again in the evening hours, like 6 or 7, where they finish dinner, the kids are kind of on their own or going to bed, and they're able to kind of have their mental peace and say, okay, I'm gonna go look, and you know, I know I need to look at cars, and I'm gonna go in and look for that.
Yeah.
So, you know, even if it's not automotive, anybody else out there watching this, you know, that's kind of the peak hours. You have your early morning checking emails and checking things, screwing around on Facebook because you don't know you're working yet. And then lunch break, you know, you're checking out your phone, and then, you know, waiting for the kids to get out of the school line or taking them to practice, and you're bored again. That's another great time. But then after dinner, you know, everything's kind of settling down between that 7 to 10 p.m. It starts to taper down around 9 p.m. is what we found for a lot of people.
Okay.
So Erika, why did we start offering PPC as a service here at Dealer Authority?
So it started out based upon an Octane client who was having issues trying to find a good partner for PPC. I think we interviewed nearly 20 different PPC providers, and we found that, you know, the ones that had a good mix of some automation but a lot of manual activity, they either had a very high management fee plus a percentage, or, you know, it was a, well, once after 3 months we'll up the budget, you'll have to up your budget, there were so many different criteria that the dealer had to fulfill that it just didn't make a lot of sense. So we decided, you know, we have expertise in this area, why not, you know, start developing that as a product. So we ended up starting to take that on, and a lot of the times we found, you know, we hired on a few people to kind of help us out, and they've been fantastic, and a lot of it has been manual work. We have a lot of people and a lot of dealers and competitors that say, oh, well, you know, automation is the way to go. And on some aspects I can agree with that, but when it comes to having a physical person looking at your account every day, going through, double checking and saying, wait a minute, there's something unique going on here. I need to either evaluate this, we need to change it, or we can explore it. Kind of like going into the later evening hours we were talking about before, where we were seeing, you know, the client didn't have enough budget, but we all of a sudden started seeing spikes in the evening. We said, okay, cool, we'll really put a schedule where we're going to turn these campaigns off, and then this way we'll have a little bit extra budget at the end of the day to really capture that evening traffic. Same could be said with, you know, specific keywords. You know, as we're working with Google on a one-to-one basis, they're giving us pointers, but we're also asking really interesting questions about, you know, conversions, and should we be changing up the bid strategy, because there are multiple bid strategies. It's just not the highest bidder. It could be, you know, scheduled bids or max bids, things like that, where you can kind of play around with how you want to spend your budget. And as someone who jumps in there as a newbie, if you want to take on PPC on your own, there's a lot of nuances that can really, like I said before, put you in a position where you're spending a lot of budget without really understanding what you're getting, you know, what you're getting out of it.
All right, so thank you for joining us on this week's version of Coffee and Conversions. And thank you again, Erika, for joining us and all your expertise, which is always nice. I learn everything. Every time you sit down, I'm like soaking it in, learning more. But yes.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me again.
Yes. Probably be back, so that's great.
Well, if you have any questions about PPC or would like to learn more about different strategies, you can always reach out to us at dealerauthority.com. See you next week.